was Josh and Cher. Like, that's the main romance, right?
Yeah.
Is that weird? Was that weird?
Yes. I think, yeah, like, I don't know how to put it any other way. Like, step siblings or ex-step siblings, there was a point in time where you were, like, legally siblings, like, in a binding way. And, like, yeah, it was broken, and obviously they didn't get together when they were siblings or step siblings, but it's just, like...
It's weird. Welcome to the Point of View podcast. My name is Asada Haman.
And my name's Yosa.
And here we are today for another episode.
Yep, super excited to jump into new movies. Well, not necessarily new, but new movies to talk about.
Yeah, I know. Now that you say that, we were just before we started reflecting that this movie that we're talking about is from 1995.
31 years ago.
That's insane because it is 2026. That's also insane.
Yeah.
But if you haven't already noticed by the title, we are talking about the movie Clueless, a very cute late 90s, early 2000s, maybe in popularity rom-com. But yeah, we had some thoughts about it and we kind of just wanted to talk about it today.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I can't even believe like this movie is like a rom-com because I just feel like the nostalgia and like all the media around it, like I didn't even realize before I watched the movie that it was a rom-com. Like I genuinely just thought the movie was about Cher. Like I thought it was like, oh, this is like her and this is her life and she's pretty and she lives in like California and this. I didn't realize like
a rich girl.
Yeah, like I thought it was like, oh, her navigating like her life or whatever. I didn't realize there was like a boy and not like all these friends involved. So it's
it was definitely a big, like, I don't know. There's a lot more than just a romance. And I think that's why it is a good movie, because I feel like if you just heavily focus on the romance, like the plot is boring. Like
the plot gets a little lost sometimes.
Yeah.
Even if they are talking about other things, it's hard to like bring that back.
I agree.
Almost.
But I guess for some first impression and nostalgia, I was trying to think when I first watched this movie. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember. I watched it a long time ago.
That's
like
crazy.
Maybe more than 5-6 years ago, but not 6-7.
Not 6-7 years ago.
Oh my gosh, no, that's like, this is such a side note, but like I'll be in a regular conversation just saying like,
it's so
bad.
Like
6 or 7 miles or 6-7 years or something like that. Like genuinely not trying to make it a meme. But once it comes out of your mouth, you're just like, oh my gosh. You can't hold
it back. It just,
we said it again.
It's terrible.
When did you watch this movie?
Last week.
Wow.
And I'm 18 years old, so. But I will say, it's not. I did try and watch the movie like 3 years ago. So the movie kind of had to grow on me a little bit. Yeah. I didn't think it was bad. I just was like, I just wasn't interested in it. I was kind of like, I don't know, maybe I was like 13, 14. I was kind of like, why am I watching this?
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't like really relate to you.
Yeah, I was like, who cares about like her grades and her dad that's a lawyer? But like, it definitely took like, also there's not really like plot in the very beginning. So it's definitely kind of one of those movies you actually have to like watch, get 20-30 minutes in, and then you're like, oh, okay, this is what's happening.
I kind of agree. I mean, for me, I watched it when I was a bit older. Maybe I was 16, 17. I just realized it's there. Oh my gosh.
It's never gonna end.
It's never gonna end. Sorry, guys. But I think maybe I was around the same time as Cher, and so it did relate. Like I was like, okay, I can watch this movie. And yeah, I immediately liked it, and I actually rewatched it a few years after that. And it's like, I don't do that often, especially with rom-coms. Like, I'll rewatch movies, but especially as I've gotten older, I feel like I don't rewatch rom-coms.
Really?
I don't. Like, besides Crazy Rich Asians, that's another one I've rewatched multiple times. But there's very few rom-coms I've rewatched, and this was one of them for some reason.
Wow.
So I think it's just very nostalgic. It's just comforting. It's just, it's a very basic plot, and I don't have to think too deeply, and it's funny. The character is funny. Cher.
It's just a light movie.
It's just a very light movie, and I love that. Like, I like the little happy ending at the end.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like, for me now, it's kind of like, I did enjoy the movie, but I feel like the movie's more like iconic and like it's more of like, oh, it's Clueless, like, oh, it's that movie, and less of like, oh, well, this like means so much to me because I like didn't grow up. I mean, like the 90s kind of weren't. We were born in the 2000s, but like by the time that movie
early
came
2000s.
out, yeah, I mean, I was born like later
2007. I feel like is
well, no, because after 2005, I feel like you know there's upper and lower. Because 2003 is early.
I feel like 20 years from now you're gonna say, oh, I was born in the. You're not gonna say middle 2000s. You're just gonna say, oh, I was born in the.
No, but like
2000s.
if you say early or late, like I feel like anytime after like 2005 is like late, and anytime before that is early.
I don't think so, but okay.
Anyway, but I think the movie was just more like. It was more of like a statement, more of a label for me than like, oh, I like this movie means so much to me, because like it didn't. Not that didn't makes it like a bad movie, but it was just kind of like I watched it to kind of say I've watched it, and it was good. Like I was like, this is a good movie, but I don't know. I feel like it didn't have the cultural impact on me that it did for some people, especially when it came out. Like, and for the first 5-10 years after it came out. So, yeah.
No, I can see that. And I think going along with that, like, we know that the title of this movie is Clueless, meaning, like, she's kind of, like, airheaded, dumb in a way. But the question is was Cher actually, like, clueless? Was she really an airhead? Like, I feel like that is something that as I was watching this movie, like, reflected, because we see that she's negotiating her grades. She's thinking of things in an out-of-box way. Like, she understands people to a way that not many people understand. And I think that really comes to the play about what is intelligence, or are there different types of intelligences? Because I think in our world, we really, really value intellectual intelligence. Like, do I know books? Do I know
academics?
Do I know science? Do I know all of these things? But then there's also the emotional intelligence. And I believe that Cher had a lot of that. She was very, very emotionally intelligent. She understood her friends. She understood her family dynamic. She even knew, like, how to, like, play her dad. Like, she knew that, like, the dad's this big shot lawyer that I'm sure was raking in millions a year. And he is actually, as a lawyer, he has to be playing the other side. So he as a lawyer, you kind of have to understand psychology. But his 16-year-old daughter was able to understand the psychology of her father and was able to get away with so much. And so I think that she was extremely emotionally intelligent. And I think in our world, that's so important. We only sometimes focus on this academic or intellectual intelligence, which is so important as well. But we're more than just the books or the numbers behind a screen. We are people, and we need that emotional intelligence to complement intellectual intelligence.
Yeah, and I think with Cher's character, it's kind of interesting how they show, like, almost a little bit of both. Like, she is clueless in a way, but she's also very smart. And, like, it doesn't, like, make her, like, super one or the other. We still see she's fashionable. She likes hanging out with her friends and, like, Dion and, like, all these people. Like, she, you know, she still loves, like, the popularity aspect of it, but she also, like, understands people, and she even cares about people in the movie. You would think, like, for that time, like, being, like, Mean Girls was coming out during that age. Like, all movies like that were kind of the big thing. So you would think, oh, Cher's, like, a mean girl who, like, kind of doesn't care about, like, you know, anyone or anyone else. But you see with Ty, even with, like, all her friends and Dion, and even, like, her relationship with her annoying boyfriend, it's like she still cared about them, and it was, like, the people around her. Like you're saying, I think that shows, like, an emotional intelligence, and the fact that, like, she wasn't smart in the conventional way, but it was, like, she was able to use that, but also still be, like, normal and, like, just a kind person, like, period.
Yeah. And I guess, like, going on this emotional intelligence, I think that, I don't know, this might be a bit of a stretch and we're not so sure, but I think that she could have been intellectually intelligent if she just applied herself.
Yeah.
Girl did not care about school.
The debates where she'd be, like, talking about something random.
Yeah, like, imagine if she put all this energy that she put into understanding people, into fashion, into school. I truly believe she would have been one of the smartest people, but she just didn't care. And quite frankly, she didn't have to. Yeah. Like, her dad is this millionaire. Like, she's technically an only child, or has only that brother. We'll get into that.
Brother.
An ex-stepbrother, but I think he's financially independent, and she ends up with her ex-stepbrother, and the guy's probably gonna take care of her too. Like, he's also he was in law school, right? Or he's trying to go to law school.
It's environmental law or something.
Okay, wait, maybe he's not gonna be rich. Wait, depends on which side he's on. If he's on environmental law for the companies, then yeah, he's breaking the law, because he's gonna say there's nothing wrong with our environment. Our company is 100% green. We love the environment, while they're like polluting it 2 billion times. But yeah, just I love Cher, and kind of going on about, like, you brought up her friendships. Do you like one of the main like friendships that was kind of developed, because her friendship with Dion was kind of like was already established. They'd been friends for many years. Dion picked her up from school because she didn't have her license yet, which she did not pass.
Yeah, that was so funny.
That was funny. But Ty was this new girl that came into school, and Cher saw her as a project. She was like, I can transform this girl into a popular girl. But the question is, was Cher helping Ty, or do we think she was more so controlling her?
I think there's kind of like, you can play both sides on this, where I think it kind of started out as like, oh, I want to mold this girl, and I want to show like I can be like, I can help this like poor awful girl, and I can make her like popular and like pretty like me. But then we see is like the show, or as the movie goes on, she kind of grows to care about her, and I think like deep down she really just wanted to help her. She really wanted to help this girl like find and assimilate her life in this new school, this new environment. And I think she just wanted, like, when she realized, like, what was the guy's name, like Chase or something, didn't want Ty, she actually started comforting her and becoming friends with her, and they kind of just grew as people. And I think that goes to show that it's like, sometimes it might not always be the best intentions that you enter in with, but you can walk out with better ones. Because it was like, at first, like, she didn't really care about like what happened to Ty, but then as she started to know her and they got to know each other, it was like, oh, this sense of friendship like actually developed from it. And so
I agree. I think that her intentions were there. She intended to help. She, like we said, Cher is very emotionally intelligent, so she understands how brutal high school can be. She understands that people are quick to kill in this school, not literally, but like figuratively. Like they're ready.
Your social.
Yeah, they're ready to do all that. And she saw this girl who she deemed helpless and so innocent, and she's like, I'm going to help her. That was good intentions. But I think that there were I guess the unintended consequences was what she was trying to do actually helping her. Was she changing her? Was she changing her clothing, the way she acted, and how she flirted? Like, was she doing all these things to actually help her, or was this just kind of making it worse for Ty? But I mean, I think that is life. Sometimes a lot of times we all go into situations with the best of intentions. We want to help so much, but sometimes it does do what we had intended. Like, sometimes we're able to help, it goes great, everyone's happy, both parties are great. And sometimes there's unintended consequences where, oh, what I did actually didn't help them. Maybe they were feeling bad. And just like being like Cher, she realized that she made a mistake along the way, and she took accountability. And I think that that's really, really respectable. Cher is someone that, I don't know, I think that you look at her, she's blonde, she's rich, she talks funny, she doesn't take life seriously. So it's almost like, why should I even like look at her as an example of anything really good? She's just kind of like, oh, a character. It's like, she's not as good as some other, characters we've talked about on this podcast. But I think that she just has as much, or we should have just as much respect for her, some of her actions as well, because she truly deep down cares so deeply about people. And I think that just stems from that emotional intelligence.
Yeah, for sure. And I think just seeing the way like Ty kind of also changed Cher as well. And we see that kind of go into her relationship with Josh, her ex-stepbrother, or whatever they have going on. I don't want to know.
The question is, and I'm sure this is, like, I'm sure if you've watched this movie, you know, and you're wondering what our feelings are. But was Josh and Cher, like, that's the main romance, right?
Yeah.
Is that weird? Was that weird?
Yes. I think, yeah, like, I don't know how to put it any other way. Like, step siblings or ex-step siblings, there was a point in time where you were, like, legally siblings, like, in a binding way. And, like, yeah, it was broken, and obviously they didn't get together when they were siblings or step siblings, but it's just, like...
It's weird.
It's not necessarily wrong in, like, a moral way, but it's more of just wrong.
No, it is. It's wrong. It's not wrong in a lawful or legal way.
Yeah.
But it is wrong in a moral way.
Well, I just, like, it's not like, well, for me, it doesn't feel morally wrong because they're not siblings still. Like, if their parents were still married.
At one point of a time, they thought of each other as siblings.
She was still calling him her brother, like, with 30 minutes left in the movie. So,
oh, my God.
And then, like, the whole, like, overprotective thing when she went on a date with, like, Christian, the gay guy. And, like, I can't believe she didn't know that Christian was gay. I was, like, he walked in the class. He was, like his hand on the door, and he, like, a tucked in shirt. His style was good. He walked too well. I was like, no, his hair was too perfect.
Okay, but I'm gonna be so honest. Like, okay, like, maybe his was very flamboyant. She kind of maybe should have clocked it, but I actually am so bad at, like, telling too. And I mean, I've heard this is a good thing because there's been some guys that I've met and become friends, and I later find out they're gay, and I'm like, and I'm thinking back on, like, things I saw them do. Like, there's this one guy I know, and I saw him before I knew he was gay. I saw him in a crop top, but it was a party. It was a themed party I went to.
Oh yeah.
So, like, we were supposed to dress like what's the movie? I can't remember the movie now, but it was the same party for a movie. It was like early 2000s, so you know, the crop top was kind of the trend back then. So, like, he wore that. I just thought it was a funny joke. And then later I learned he's gay. I'm like, oh, wait.
Like, oh, that's why you were
wearing that. So, like, I mean, for, like, I understand her to an extent. I'm like, it's so easy to not be able to tell. And I have heard from some gay guys that you're not supposed to just assume anyway. Like, that's rude. So I think that in a way she was being good to not assume.
When she invited him over to her house in the foot scene, and he goes like, I think I should go. But I think just going back to Cher and Josh, it's weird. Not wrong, like you're saying, in a lawful way. It's not necessarily wrong in any like matter. Like, morally, it's kind of like a wiggle. Like, but it's just, it makes me personally uncomfortable. Like, if I'm friends with you and I met this guy as your stepbrother, and then you tell me 5 years later you're dating your ex-stepbrother even though your parents are divorced, it's strange. Now, does that mean I don't think they're, like, good and fit together? Not necessarily. And it's funny, I saw a TikTok the other day of, like, couples that went last after, like, the movie ended, and one of them was Cher and Josh, and I was like,
really?
Yeah, I could see it, but also I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like it would fall apart, like, after, like, a couple months. I feel bad because I do like them together, even though it's weird, but...
When I was young, it didn't really click to me that it was weird. Like, I mean, yeah, they were step-siblings, but I kind of just, like, glossed over that. Like, I felt like, especially when I was, like, early teens, for some reason, I would read and watch a lot of things, and I just wouldn't think about it deeply.
Shadowhunters.
Literally, there were so many things I, like, thought of, and I just was like, oh, okay, that's something.
All right,
and
it
just,
happened.
Like, it glossed over me. But then as I, like, get older, I'm like, yeah, that's weird.
Just slightly.
That's weird. So I feel like if I watched the movie today for the first time, I would have been like, absolutely not.
What the heck?
I would have been like, no, like, I don't even ship these two together. But I mean, I watched this so long ago, and like that, like, again, this nostalgic feel of it is still there for me. And so I'm like, oh, I love them together. But yeah, it is weird. As an adult, I think it's weird. like I would never get with my step sibling.
I wonder how the dad felt about it, because they never even really showed that. But I'm like,
but like the dad knew. Like, remember there was like scenes where the dad was like, because like after the date or when she went to the party or something like that, he's like he's working with his dad or ex stepdad, and he's like freaking out. He's like, I'm gonna go check on her, and the dad was like, okay, go ahead. And then you just see him like I think he took off his glasses and he's like laughing or something, or like not laughing but like slightly like smiling, because like he knew that they like, at least Josh liked Cher.
Yeah.
And it didn't look like he was weirded out, so I think he just like, I don't know. It was weird.
It's weird.
Maybe they did things differently in 1995. I was born in 2003, so that was like 8 years before my time. So maybe things have changed by the time I was born. But your face,
I'm not. No.
Your face. Oh my god.
I don't want my kid dating my ex stepchild.
It ain't happening. Wouldn't happen in our family. I don't really hope it happens with anyone I do know.
No, there's just certain lines that it's kind of like, maybe let's not step into that territory.
Like there's like 8 billion people on this earth, and let's say half of them are men and you're a woman, so 4 billion people are men.
Literally anyone else.
Those are, some of them are kids. So let's just say like at least 2 billion are men. Out of the 2 billion people, you pick the one that is your ex stepbrother.
And, like, basically kind of still lives in your house, and your dad treats him like a son.
Yeah. Also, what did come to my mind when I was watching it again, though, like maybe 2 years ago, that was actually honestly weirder than the ex-step sibling, was the age.
Yeah, isn't she, like, 16 and he's, like, 21?
22. Like, he's, 20? Like, in college. Like,
if he's talking about being a lawyer, he's probably going to law school, so he's, like, 21, 22.
Yeah, he's older.
Oh, and I'm like, I feel like they tried to make it so cute with the wedding scene at the end of the 2 teachers, and how it's like Josh, Dion's boyfriend, and like the skater guy or something, and it's like Cher, Dion, like Ty are all like, oh, like, and they're like, oh, those are our girls, and I'm kind of like, you're like old. They're in high school.
And you're in college. That's
you're like weird. Buddying up with them. I'm like, no, just stop.
So like from an age, I think more than that. Like I actually hated the age gap thing.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That also makes it weird.
It's that I think is weirder, because there's like a good, let's say 4 or 5 year difference, and like one's still in high school.
Not even like a senior. She's not even like close to being graduated. No. She's got like 2 years, a year and a half left. No,
it was weird. No. So I think that was weirder than right now, like all of that. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they would have worked out. I feel like it's always those weird couples that always work out in the end.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll never know. The story is left up to interpretation.
That's true.
We can envision them together with 5 kids, or we can envision them separated and back to being ex-step siblings and not boyfriend girlfriend.
Ex-step siblings and ex-girlfriend and boyfriend.
Yes.
Double X's.
Jeez. Oh my goodness. But I mean, besides the Josh and Cher thing, which in the movie it's cute, outside of the movie, if you really think deeply, it's not cute.
Weird.
But I mean, overall, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a good movie. I think I would probably rate it an 8 out of 10 in terms of just like how good I think it was.
I'd say a 7.
Yeah,
maybe a 6.
That's a 6.5. Fair assessment. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in and listening or watching to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't watched Clueless yet, I hope we haven't deterred you too much from it. But definitely check it out if you haven't. And if you have watched it, maybe it's time for a rewatch and then see what you feel about it. Let us know in the comments down below what you think about Cher and Josh. Do you think it's weird? Did you even think about it? The age gap, the ex-step siblings, what are your thoughts on that? We would love to hear about that. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and to give us a 5-star review on any of the podcasting platforms you're listening to this on. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and we'll see you guys next time.
All right.
Bye.